The fluctuations in political factors have caused a dramatic shift in the gold market during the early months of 2025. Global and domestic gold prices continuously broke previous records, climbing to unprecedented heights. At this very moment, what if you could own a real gold reserve? That idea isn't far-fetched at all, because Erebus, a mountain located in the remote, frigid land of Antarctica, is producing gold every single day. Any individual or government that owns it could become incredibly wealthy in an instant. But no one can make use of this real gold reserve? Why is that? Let's explore the fascinating story in our video. The mystery of Mount Erebus, the real gold vault no one dares to touch. According to many researchers, throughout human history, we've mined about 1,800,000 tons of gold. However, that figure is tiny compared to the true gold resources our planet holds. Scientists at the University of Queensland, Australia, published research showing that gold is created by water and earthquakes. Tectonic activity in Earth's crust causes heavy metals to precipitate deep within magma flows, far beneath the surface. That's why the largest gold reserves on Earth aren't above ground, but deep within the planet's core. Yet, even though we know where most of the world's gold lies, extracting it from the Earth's crust is far beyond human capability. Perhaps that's why a gold reserve sitting on the surface like Mount Erebus attracts so much interest from researchers and investors alike. Erebus was discovered by James Clark Ross, one of the greatest explorers in human history. He stumbled upon this mountain on January 28, 1841 and named it. Amid Antarctica's eternal ice, Erebus stands tall on Ross Island at a height of 3,794 meters, almost completely isolated from other mountains. The crater at the summit is oval-shaped, about 500 to 600 meters in diameter and around 100 meters deep. Erebus lies within a territory claimed by New Zealand. This site is not only a natural symbol of the coldest continent, but also one of the few volcanoes in the world that has remained continuously active for over half a century. Erebus is one of just 3 volcanoes on Earth with a persistent lava lake. The conditions required to form such a lake and keep it from freezing are extremely rare. Since 1972, this highest volcano in Antarctica has been steadily releasing lava and gas, making it an ideal location for scientists to study volcanic activity. However, what makes Erebus even more special isn't just its constant eruptions, but the surprising fact that it produces gold every day. Don't get it twisted. Erebus isn't spitting out gold bars like some folklore fantasy. What it emits daily are gold particles. Though small in size, over time they add up. According to recent studies, Erebus releases around 80 grams of gold per day, about $6,000 in market value. These gold particles are tiny, only about 60 micrometers. But over a year, Erebus can generate approximately 3 kilograms of gold. Depending on the eruption, the amount of gold emitted can vary, meaning Erebus's total output might far exceed what scientists have estimated. And since Erebus has been erupting non-stop for decades, it's fair to call this place a literal gold mine. However, the particles are so small they're even thinner than human hair, making them easily swept away by the wind. When Erebus erupts, its gold particles can be carried over 1,000 kilometers before settling. The volcano's ability to generate gold is a geological mystery. Many wonder how Erebus manages to do this. The gold doesn't simply appear on the surface, it is born deep within the earth. Under extreme pressure and temperature, minerals, including gold, become vaporized. Gas streams hotter than 1,000 degrees Celsius carry this gold vapor upward. But when that vapor meets Antarctica's freezing air, it instantly condenses into solid gold particles, which are then scattered by the wind. This is similar to how water vapor becomes mist in the cold, except instead of mist, Erebus produces gold dust rain across the polar skies. Although gold vapor has been discovered in other volcanoes, Erebus is the first where scientists have observed vapor transforming into solid gold. This unique process gives researchers new insights into how this precious metal forms and moves through nature. A volcano that spews gold daily might sound like a treasure waiting to be mined, but in reality, collecting Erebus's gold is nearly impossible. The particles are too small, and they scatter over such vast areas that gathering them is no easy feat. Even with today's best tech, extracting these tiny gold bits from ice and volcanic rock is a challenge with no clear solution. In fact, trying might cost more than it's worth. On top of that, Erebus releases toxic gases like sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen oxide. In 2021, China's Haiyang 1D satellite captured a major eruption, showing a thick brownish-black cloud shooting out of Erebus and spreading hundreds of kilometers like the Reaper rising through a snowy white sky. Add to that Erebus's location, remote, freezing, and practically unreachable, and the idea of mining it becomes nothing more than a wild dream. That's why all the gold Erebus produces will likely keep floating in the air, becoming part of nature's magical yet untouchable system. Though not usable for wealth, Erebus remains incredibly valuable for science. Volcanoes aren't just destructive fire-breathing mountains. They hold rich natural resources. Studying them benefits many aspects of human life. Erebus, with its persistent lava lake, is perfect for long-term observation. Thanks to its constant activity, scientists get a rare chance to study gas release, lava behavior, and eruption models. Its lava lake is like a window into Earth's interior, helping us understand how energy from Earth's core moves to the surface. Research at Erebus even helps predict eruptions elsewhere and reveals how life could survive in extreme environments, a key in exploring planets like Mars. All volcanoes, active or dormant, eventually go through a mineralization stage, becoming ideal for future mining. Perhaps we are all waiting for Erebus to hit that stage soon. But Erebus isn't only famous for its golden emissions. It's also tied to one of New Zealand's most heartbreaking aviation disasters. The name Erebus comes from ancient texts, often used to describe a place as dark as hell, and hellish it was. On November 28, 1979, Air New Zealand Flight 901 crashed into Erebus's side in poor visibility, killing all 257 on board. It remains New Zealand's deadliest aviation tragedy. Back in 1977, Air New Zealand had started offering scenic flights over Antarctica. Passengers enjoyed a luxurious 11-hour round trip from Auckland to Antarctica and back. These flights became a major hit, both in popularity and profit. But that all ended in tragedy. On that fateful day, Captain Jim Collins lowered the altitude to around 610 meters so tourists could enjoy the view. He believed they were flying over McMurdo Sound, as in previous flights, unaware the flight path had changed without his knowledge. Just before 1 p.m., the aircraft's collision warning system sounded, but it was too late. Within 6 seconds, the plane slammed into the side of Erebus. Moments before impact, passengers were still happily taking pictures. After hours of silence, officials assumed the worst. Search and rescue teams found the wreckage on Ross Island with no survivors. All 257 on board, including 44 unidentified victims, perished. At the time, New Zealand's population was just 3 million, so nearly everyone had some connection to the victims. The disaster sparked legal battles and national outrage. Initially, the pilots were blamed for flying too low, but a second investigation proved the flight path had been altered by the airline without informing the crew. Air New Zealand was found to have covered up their fault, shifting blame onto the pilots. Judge Peter Mahone famously called it an orchestrated litany of lies. Despite this, the government at the time defended the airline, then state-owned, fearing it would damage national pride. Air New Zealand later appealed and won, causing further frustration and delaying justice. In 2009, the airline finally issued a partial apology for how it handled things post-crash, but not for causing the crash. At the 40th anniversary memorial, Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern admitted past failures and officially apologized on behalf of the government. She stated, after 40 years, it's time to apologize for how a state-owned airline caused the loss of so many lives and mishandled the aftermath. As time passes, the tragedy of Erebus is etched into the icy wilderness of Antarctica. But today, people are more captivated by the gold the mountain releases daily. Though mining Erebus is a no-go for now, perhaps one day, human technology will catch up. Until then, Erebus remains a natural wonder and a reminder of Earth's complex and powerful forces.